So if you don't know who this guy is, this is Jean-Claude Van Damme. Jean-Claude Van Damme was a huge star in the 1990s, right? Well, also 1980s, like late 1980s, early 1990s. He was in films like Bloodsport, Lionheart. Actually, I believe Donald Trump said that one of his favorite movies is Bloodsport. Jean-Claude Van Damme, obviously big action star. He's in all these films. They're selling out, making a lot of money. But there are other action stars, right? You got Sylvester Stallone, you got Arnold, but you also had this guy named Steven Seagal, right? Steven Seagal, known for, a black ponytail. He's been in some movies, a few. I'll put some here. I can't think of any off the top of my head. But he had been going on Hollywood saying very disrespectful things, pretty much saying that, hey, Jean-Claude Van Damme isn't as great as he thinks he is, and that he was basically discrediting the accomplishments Jean-Claude Van Damme had achieved through martial arts. The thing is, he went on Arsenio Hall and said this, okay? So Arsenio Hall, if you guys aren't familiar with the Arsenio Hall show, the Arsenio Hall show was like a Jay Leno or like a Conan O'Brien show, and it was a big show. Celebrities used to come on that show all the time. They would talk about their current projects, their next projects. They would just talk about themselves, whatever, right? So Steven Seagal went on there, and somehow the topic got to Jean-Claude Van Damme, and he was just saying like, hey, you know what? I don't know if those championships. He basically was like alluding that he don't think that the titles and championships that he had won in his career, like he questioned them, and he pretty much, and that kind of falls in line with what he had been saying throughout Hollywood, saying that he doesn't think Jean-Claude Van Damme is as good as him or like a real martial artist, whatever. If you know the history of Steven Seagal, he thinks of himself pretty highly. So I'll just leave it at that. Fast forward to 97 in Miami. Sylvester Stallone, he's throwing a party at his home, right? He has this nice Miami home. He decides to invite all his friends out. A lot of them are stars, right? A lot of them are other action stars. A lot of them are in the industry. So they're all there. Everything's peaceful. Everything's cool. Jean-Claude Van Damme is there. He also invites Steven Seagal. They hadn't locked eyes on each other yet. They go through most of the night, not even seeing each other, not bumping into each other, whatever. They probably didn't even know that one or the other was even at the same party, because it's so many people. It's a big house, Miami, big mansion, big. He's rich. Sylvester Stallone is got a big house, a lot of people. Jean-Claude Van Damme eventually locks eyes on Steven Seagal. And he's thinking to himself, all the stuff this man has been saying about me, all the stuff this dude has been saying about me around Hollywood. He was just on an Arsenio Hall show talking this stuff. Remember, Arsenio Hall show was big. It's a big late night show. So that went out to thousands of millions of people, right? So he said, you know what, enough's enough. So in the middle of this party, he walks over. And Steven Seagal's scared. Steven Seagal doesn't really say much. They get into kind of like a pushing, a little scuffle, But Jean-Claude Van Damme was like, hey, you know what? This is a beautiful home. Come outside. Come outside. I'm going to show you I'm the real thing. Jean-Claude Van Damme's out there stretching, doing roundhouse kicks. He's getting ready to give Steven Seagal them hands. Jean-Claude Van Damme was out there for 2 hours, getting ready, getting prepared. Someone eventually goes out there and tells Jean-Claude Van Damme, hey, man, he left. Like, he's not even here. So Jean-Claude Van Damme's like, okay. So Steven Seagal is trying to have a good night. Steven Seagal ain't trying to fight nobody. Steven Seagal ain't trying to have his ponytail messed up. So he goes out to a nightclub. He's like, you know what? I'm in Miami. The party didn't work out, but I'm just gonna, the night is still young. I'm still gonna enjoy myself. So he goes to a nightclub, right? Next thing he knows, Jean-Claude Van Damme pulls up to that same nightclub, walks in that club, walks straight up to Steven Seagal, and is saying the exact same thing he was saying at the Miami house party at Sylvester Stallone's house. He's like, let's go outside. I'm going to show you what I can do. Let's go outside. Long story short, no fight happened. Just a lot of talking and stuff. They have talked about this. Jean-Claude Van Damme was on a show, a European show, where he talked about it. He was just saying that Steven Seagal was just mad disrespectful. So, when you talk stuff, you got to be able to back it up. But it happens. Oh, also, Sylvester Stallone also mentioned it too in the interview he had with, I believe, FHM. I don't know. But yeah, crazy stuff, right?